Ghanaians are joining the Russian army. Ghanaians are joining the Russian army. Can you imagine? Ghanaians are joining the Russian army.
I really don't know what the fuck is wrong with us. We are always willing to join their armies and fight for them, as opposed to forming our own armies and fight on our behalf. You understand? Why the fuck are Ghanaians going to Russia to join their fucking army? Stay your black asses in Ghana and join your own fucking army in Ghana to defend Ghana. The same thing happened when Haitians actually fought to help America gain the independence from England before they even fought for themselves in fucking Haiti. In America, we got a bunch of fucking black people who joined the U.S. Armed Forces to defend white people in World War I and World War II and every other fucking war, but they've yet to come home and decide to train other black people to create a black army for themselves, to defend themselves against these fucking white racists. I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with us. We're always willing to join their fucking armies to fight for them, to defend them, but we're not fighting for ourselves. Man, wake the fuck up. I've been quite busy lately because I started a new project. You know, I own a real estate investment company, so I flip houses. Anyway, I want to make this video just to remind black people to understand their worth, their value. The shit that's happening with Diddy now, it didn't have to happen that way. You understand? When Ciroc came out, Diddy was front and center, telling the whole world he owns Ciroc. In reality, Ciroc owned Diddy. Diddy didn't need Ciroc. Ciroc needed Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? Diddy had enough connections. He could have brought enough people together to create his own Ciroc. Just like they use his image to sell the product, especially to the black community, Diddy could have created his own product to sell to us. Because what happens when you sign on a dotted line for a check to represent a brand that you only own 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5%, that brand also has access to you and they can destroy you, your career, and everything else. Michael Jordan didn't need Nike. Nike needed Jordan. LeBron didn't need Nike. Nike needed LeBron, Kobe, and all of them. One of the main reasons why these guys are not starting their own brands is because they don't have the confidence to start their own businesses, that start their own company. They rely on these big corporations to boost them because it's easier to get a check signed. But when they sign that check over to these athletes or celebrities, there are conditions that come with that check. Meaning, whenever you say anything against them, they're going to tear you down. They're going to ruin your career. Diddy was suing Ciroc for discrimination. That's one of the main reasons why they were going after him. You understand? It's the same thing with LeBron. Michael Jordan stayed quiet his entire career, couldn't say shit about black issues, and a whole bunch of them because they keep signing with these fucking racist corporations. Instead of coming together, or at least play for a couple of years, take your money, invest in yourself. You understand? That's what entrepreneurs do. That's what real business people do. You don't let everybody else use your like and your image to build their brands. And when you step out of line according to them, they want to tear you down. They want to ruin your career, and they want to tell the world what they want about you. Black people need to understand we need our own shit. Stop fucking signing with these racist pieces of shit fucking people. They don't want us. They don't like us. Stop selling your image to them. You want to know the difference between us and them? You see, when these despicable criminals came from England to steal this land from the natives, you know, land thieves, they also extended an olive branch to other Europeans to come over here to help them develop this country. You understand? So they've always been united, whether it's in theft or whatever, deception. And together, they decided they were going to go to Africa to actually kidnap people illegally to bring them back because their asses were too lazy to build this country themselves. See, they were united in that. And all of Europe united to basically enslave Africa. When the Zionists decided they were going to steal Palestinian land, They also extended an olive branch to all the Zionists all over the world. You understand what I'm saying? They say, hey, we're still in this land over here. Come help us. Come help develop this land. So now they have dual citizenship from all over the world. In Israel, from America, you name it. You know what we haven't done as a group, as black people? We have never united for any reason. When Haiti was established, right, after Dessalines won Haiti's independence, he extended an olive branch to all black people and said, hey, listen, this is a free nation. No more slavery. Come on down. Black people stay attached to their slave territories. Oh, I'm American. I'm Jamaican. I'm this, I'm that. We're so attached to the places that our ancestors were enslaved, we never think about creating our own heaven. You understand what I'm saying? Because when Frederick Douglass, a lot of y'all don't know this, and 500 African Americans moved to Haiti back in the day, he lived there for a while. They didn't stay too long because a lot of African Americans didn't want to adjust, you understand, to the weather in Haiti. They didn't want to adjust to the language, the customs. But these other people, they learned to adjust because unity is big to them. Unity is not big to us. That is the problem. And that's the difference between us and them. We have never built our own little heaven anywhere in the world. Instead, we accept the bullshit-ass nationalities they forced upon us and ready to fight for that bullshit anywhere in the world to keep ourselves divided. That's the shit we got to get out of our system. Some folks don't know the history of black people dying in vain for white people for no reason. Over 15,000 Africans died in World War I, and even more died in World War II. Okay? 135,000 of them were recruited to fight in World War I, and the number increased in World War II. Now, why were Africans fighting in World War I or World War II? White people instigated those world wars. You understand? It's the same thing with African Americans fighting for this fucking country, defending white people overseas for what? The red tail? The red tail needed to be here fighting for themselves. Fuck Germany. Let them go and fight in Germany. We don't have shit to prove to these people. These fucking people want to oppress us. They want to exploit Africa. They want to exploit black people all over the world. They go and instigate their fucking wars. Let them fight it out. We don't have to fight for them. And those of you who don't know that Russia had been recruiting black African soldiers to replace the Wagner group, you're in the dark. Just because I don't talk about the shit, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I posted this video about the soldiers. They're not necessarily Ghanaian soldiers, but they're soldiers from Africa. And some of them volunteered to fight on behalf of Russia. For what? Putin can be an ally. That's it. Keep him as a fucking ally. You don't have to shed blood for fucking Russia. You really think Putin is saying all this shit just like because he really loves African people? No. White people do not fight for black people. White people fight for what they can exploit from black people. Understand that shit. Hell yeah, Baltimore lost more than a bridge. I know y'all ain't paying attention, but I was. Did you see who took command of that ship? I know y'all weren't thinking what I'm thinking. It was the ancestors that took command of that ship. That captain couldn't do shit. That was divine intervention. How the fuck you gonna name a bridge after Francis Scott Key, one of the most fucking racist pieces of shit of this country? He wrote the Star Spangled Banner to remind black people of their role in this society. And America loves to honor pieces of shit racists like Francis Scott Key. Fucks Francis Scott Key. I hope they rebuild the bridge. Now that they have a black mayor in Baltimore and a black governor, I hope they rename that shit and drop this fucking racist piece of shit's name in the ocean where it belongs.
Mr. Secretary, about how many Palestinian women and children have been killed by Israel since October 7th?
It's over 25,000.
Mr. Secretary, Last week, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights warned that any transfer of weapon or ammunition to Israel violates international law. About how many precision-guided munitions has the United States given Israel since the beginning of the war?
I don't have that number at my fingertips, but we have endeavored.
Mr. Zaid, it's about 21,000 precision-guided munitions. The head of the World Food Program has said that the Palestinian children are starving. Extremist settler Stomrich, Israel's finance minister, stopped American flour, which our taxpayers paid for to get into Gaza. If Israel again ever stops American-paid aid from getting into Gaza, will you commit to not sending future arms cells?
Again, that's not my decision. I would, number one, do what I've been doing and engage the leadership and encourage them to ensure that humanitarian assistance is getting.
Mr. Secretary, I would just say, and I have one more question, that we need some consequences when another country is defying you, defying the National Security Advisor, defying the President, defying National Security Memorandum 20. There has to be some consequence. And then I was surprised John Kirby said that Israel is taking more precautions than the U.S. military would to protect civilian life. Mr. Austin, Secretary Austin, isn't that statement inaccurate given Israel has used hundreds of 22,000-pound dumb bombs when there were no place for civilians to go? Would the U.S. government ever target terrorists with 2,000-pound bombs in a densely populated area?
Well, it depends on the situation, and again.
But have we done that? Use 45% of bombs that are unguided or a 2,000-pound bomb? I mean, do you really think that the Israeli government military is taking more precautions than the United States military would?
I think. Just based upon the results in terms of the significant loss of life.
Gentleman's time's expired. Chair, and I recognize the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Gallagher.
And it should be.